So as soon as he moves us to the EU, you went robot and Craig disappeared.
Well, he is unbrexited. He is not only unbrexited, he has brought us to the Brexit to happen. So we can enjoy his mess now as well.
Apparently, we're in Central Europe now.
But anyway, you were saying that
we've gone to red again.
2.0 system is what?
Oh, we tried so hard.
Craig,
do we need to do a European?
Even as he's yelling at Craig.
Do we need to do a European West? I think we have our show opener right there. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's the opener to the show.
Beep, 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 beep. Oh, Jesus.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. A show where we discuss tips, tricks and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news, information and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback, and you can contact us either by email twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com or on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. Now, on with the show. So you're probably telling Peroty the fact he probably knows how to do grit.
And it begins. I don't even have to say, you know what it means, right?
Yeah, and Respawn again. This week we were having a chat. We were having a lovely conversation while I was finishing up a camping match. Heard him the entire time, absolutely flawlessly. We're talking about finding group. We're reading the LFGs to each other, being like, "Look at all these dum dums," trying to figure out, Crown of Sorrow or some kind of raid group to jump into. Mm-hmm. Again, perfectly fine, no issues. We're going through it. We're talking perfectly fine. We get to the end boss fight there, and what? But it.
With Demon?
He
was in your raid party?
With Demon again, yeah. Again, it's just like the internet knows. It's like, here's all the
we've done up to the boss, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did them up to the boss. And I could hear you fine because we were together. We were together in the first part of the run back and forth room in the middle, and then we were. They were like, "You two dum-dums will put together because you can handle that." And yeah, could hear them the entire time. Call-outs were fine. Audio is fine. Then we get to the boss room, and it's like, nope, there it all goes. He's trying to make call-outs, and I'm like, "Can you guys not hear him either?" And they were like, "No." And one of the guys leading is British, so I'm like, at least you're on the same continent as he is. So if you can't hear him either, then at least it's not just me. It's just when he actually tries to make a call out, or we try to make a serious conversation, or say record a podcast, right. His audio just goes straight downhill.
Yeah, it's gone into the red already. Oh, there we go, back to green.
Anyway.
But now that we're 20 minutes into the show, are we going to get it like an intro?
Welcome back to Destiny Raid Rambles and Crisp Talk.
I was going to say, are you going to do your intro this week, Respawn?
Are we
my intro? I have an intro.
Are we getting another
What's
song?
my intro?
Is there a dance
you
number
came up with a really
well?
nice intro last week, so I just wondered if you'd come up with a nice intro for this week.
I don't remember what my intro was last week.
Oh.
I guess
you said something nice about me. You said something nice about Peroty, and then you went all kind of.
Hold on, wait. I said something nice. Me?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? That doesn't sound like me at all. Okay, I remember. I called you the host with the most, but you didn't realize that was a Beetlejuice reference. So that was like an inside joke that you didn't get. Okay.
Well, between you and Beetlejuice?
Between anybody who's ever seen Beetlejuice, obviously.
Well, how is that an inside joke? I've seen Beetlejuice.
Yeah, well, you didn't get that I called you the host with the most, did you?
I am the host with the most.
The host with the most problems. Speech impediment.
Maybe.
Ineptitude. Illiteracy.
Okay. I'll do the intro this week.
Okay. I'll try to come up with a nice one next week.
If I don't go robot, because it's gone red. Green. Ready? Craig, be nice. You join me this week in the deserted merengue, where I've just been joined by 2 guardians who look like they just want to do their opulence bounty and get out of here. Yes, I'm talking about the only 2 people who would be foolish enough to do this every week with me. Respawn and Peroty. There you go.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us?
Flawless. Beautiful. Amazing.
Did that go robot?
Like the whole time.
No, I heard no robot. I just heard every other word. That's all. I'm sure Craig got all the words, all the best words, all the great words.
Yeah, Craig probably, mostly, maybe has it. Anyway. So, yeah, no, Craig got all that. Oh, holy crap. We got to go back to the notes page, right? 2 Titans and a Hunter podcast.
Well, I'll tell you what, because you 2 seem to not robot out or trick out or whatever, I'm going to leave you 2 to do all the reading, and maybe I'll interject every now and then.
Okay.
Just maybe just steer you back on course.
Okay. So, let's see. What's this first part? Peroty, you want to do the first part?
The Solstice of Heroes info from Bungie and datamined info. So we've got spoilers. So Bungie posted on the 24th of July in Year of Our Destiny 2019. Over on Reddit, JP Deathblade put together a nice list of information from the datamined text dump. And we'll put both of those links in the show notes if you want to see all the nitty-gritty of the datamined text and goodness that they found. But here are the things, massive spoiler warnings ahead if you don't want to know what's coming while you're listening to the show, because we do this every week. We're going to tell you what people have found. So if you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. We'll put some things in the show notes about where to skip to if you don't want to hear all the good spoilers. So here we are. So all players of Destiny 2 are welcome to participate in the Solstice of Heroes event. It kicks off July 30th and runs until August 27th. So that's all players of Destiny. So I assume annual pass, non-annual pass. If you have the game, you'll be able to get in on this event. So what are we doing here? We're going to become more powerful. So each day of the event will feature one of the 3 elements, Solar, Arc, or Void. Element kills will award you with elemental orbs. Picking up these orbs lets you complete objectives to upgrade your armor. You can create whatever orbs you need for the objectives you are working toward to achieve. You can also collect 30 orbs that match the daily element to apply an elemental buff for a brief time. So, what are these elemental buffs? For the solar buff, you can equip your solar subclass and weapons to generate solar orbs. So, put solar things on, make solar orbs. You will then collect them to wield their solar elemental power. While empowered, Guardians emit a burning wave of energy that damages anything around them. So you can burn the world down, much as Respawn wishes to do every week.
Wishes? I mean, yeah, wishes. Yeah.
Yeah, the last wish. So if you want to run Void, you can equip your Void stuff, and you will create Void elemental orbs. And what that will give you is when you crouch while empowered, you'll become invisible and gain true sight, plus enhanced ability regeneration. So
that's going to be amazing on a Titan.
Walls, so many walls. Is it all the best walls?
You say that, and the first thought I had was, now everybody gets to know what it's like to be a hunter. And then my second thought was, holy crap, Titans are going to go invisible.
Invisible shoulder charge.
Oh my god.
So basically, it's just like Iron Banner.
It says when you're crouched, you become invisible. Does that mean when you're not crouched anymore, you become visible?
We don't know because we're not in the event yet. We'll let you know as we get there.
It may be like Iron Banner currently, where your entire team goes invisible periodically, and you get hit from supers and things out of nowhere, and you see the sword running at you from across the map, and there's no one holding it. It's just a flying sword heading towards you.
Speaking of which, I know we talked about this in the band chat, but whenever we did the podcast about the invisible weapons and people, right? They specified this was happening in Crucible, but this happened to me in Gambit, which caught me off guard. Because I'm in Gambit, I pull out my primary, it's invisible. I pull out my secondary, it's there. I pull out my heavy, it's also invisible. So, and that was the whole match. It never came. It's not like it's one of those delayed, skin loading things. It was the whole match. They never came back.
You didn't need those guns.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had fun with it, right? Because I was trying to like.
So that's
kind
all
of,
you can do,
right? I was trying to assume where my reticle would be, and it was funny because I had the bad juju out, right? But the bad juju, whenever I fired the bad juju, was making the noise of the blast furnace.
Gives whole new meaning to the whole 360 no scope kill. No scope at all. I'm gonna snipe you with my hopes and dreams.
I wonder if anybody else had that problem where when you pulled out your weapon that was invisible, if it was making the noises of a different weapon, because 100% it was making the blast furnace every time I fired off my bad juju. So that was extra cool and extra weird.
So Respawn broke the game super extra a little bit more than the rest of us.
In Gambit, yeah, not even in Crucible. This was in Gambit.
Yeah. And if you want to throw back to Arc Week, what you could have been. While empowered, Guardians move with enhanced speed and deal greater melee damage and sword damage. Which now I'm going to have to ask, Titans. Bottom tree, Arc Titan. You can now move quicker, hit harder, and that's going to be ridiculous. Anyway,
I don't think I'll be online that week.
This is
entire week,
every day.
You mean that month? The entire month of August, basically?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Yeah.
But there is some good news.
Oh, is there now? What's that good news?
These effects will last for a short time or until you're defeated by your enemy. And have no fear, these buffs are not active in competitive or Gambit Prime. So we've learned something this time.
Yeah,
so it's not a full-on Revelry.
I think
they will be active in Raid, so I'm going to need to see the 4,700 Titan wall kill on a Raid boss. Just putting walls up until the boss dies. That's I'm waiting for that strat to come out. It's going to be great.
That's funny. I do think, and I know it's going to be counterintuitive to what I normally say, but I think it should be active in Gambit Prime. I know it's not going to be, but I think it should be. Because competitive, I get that. The competitive, especially during that Arc Week, if you're not using a Titan that week or that day or that whatever,
Arc Week is over.
Yeah, sorry. You're just trolling at that point. When you can get Arc abilities that do that, and you're using anything but a Titan, you're just trolling your team. And that's how I view it, right? So
yeah, maybe it should be that it's in Gambit Prime, but when you move through the portal, that buff's taken away. So if you're invading somebody, you just have your regular, armor piece buffs that you get, just not the Revelry, the Solstice buff.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm thinking. It'll help you kill the enemies.
That makes the game kind of kill the enemies. You still get all the benefits from it.
Mm-hmm. Because there's some Gambit diehards that would love to have this going on whenever they're killing enemies, and I may or may not be one of them. Just saying.
Well, you can still play regular Gambit and use it there. It still works in regular Gambit, just not Gambit Prime.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
But at the same time, I was talking with Peroty about this. Not Peroty, sorry, Demon about this. And when we're getting the new armors and everything, I'm not going to go into details in case people want to skip it. I was wondering, are we going to get 2.0 for Gambit as well? And if not, can we use the Gambit armor as like an overlay to make our armor look like a Gambit armor? Because don't get me wrong, I love the way it looks. It's my favorite looking armor in the game. But I also like it because of what you can do in Gambit and Gambit Prime with that armor. Just me going through the portal locks their bank. And I would really hate for that to go away just because, the armor 2.0 is coming in or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping they'll find something to do with that relatively quickly so that we can get our armor back and get back to playing Gambit and Gambit Prime the way we enjoy playing. And by we, I mean me and probably a few others out there.
And it's just more. Yeah, I would love to see them ornamentize. Turn that stuff into ornaments because it'll free up more space in the bank. Like I'm doing the grind right now because I put it off through the entire season of the Drifter to get my full armor set so I could win games with the full armor set of each notorious thing. And I'm looking at these going, I don't want to have all of these in my vault. I don't need 4 full armor sets that I'm rarely, if ever, going to wear. So it'd be nice to take that away again, unless we're getting more vault space come September.
You don't have to do that. You can just pick what you like to do most. I enjoy invading, so I only have.
But there's still a triumph for winning a game in each of the full notorious armor sets that I'm trying to get. So I need to at least
Oh.
have earned each full armor set, even if I don't keep it, because I can pull it back out of collections.
Right.
Because honestly, most of the rolls I've gotten have been garbage, and I'm just like, I don't care. I have the piece. I don't care what the roll is on it. I'm just trying to get the full armor set to finish these triumphs with.
Yeah, but if that's all you're going to do with it, you can just dismantle it when you're done. Once you've achieved what you're going to do.
Right, but some people
But
won't.
I'm concerned.
Like my night team is going to have 6 versions of each of these armor sets in his vault. He's going to hang on to forever.
Definitely. But my thing is this, not just the look, right? Because if they turn it into ornament, that's cool, but that only solves half the problem. It doesn't solve the problem with you being able to use these abilities.
But making an ornament, but also, with however they do the armor 2.0, with that ornament, when you put on your invader, your notorious invader ornament, it also then gives you the perks of that armor that you grinded for. So it looks like what it does and actually does what it does. But we'll see.
Do we have any info
in the armor 2.0?
I don't know yet. Any info about because I haven't been keeping up as much track of this as I normally would, because like I told you guys, I had a busy week last week. But I know for a fact all of the Eververse is going to be ornaments, right? Have they mentioned anything else being ornaments aside from the Eververse this whole time?
Well, eventually, yeah. I mean, that's the entire 2.0 rebuild. You watch the little video like I did. They're saying instead of having 57 pieces of armor that you have to figure out how you want to look good or have good stats. Mm-hmm. They're saying you can now apply ornaments and things to this armor. Now, whether you're going to be able to apply the ornaments of all the armor you've already had, don't know. I'm guessing with Eververse, they've put all of that in, and there's been a ton of Eververse armor, so it can't be that troublesome to just apply the armor as a skin and then the stats differently. But it's going to take, day one, we're not going to see it all. But I'm assuming is they're gonna take a lot of this and turn it into ornaments, or have it as either available as content drops periodically. Hey, we're gonna build this in, but it's going to take a little while to get all of this up and running once they make sure Armor 2.0 actually works and have gotten some of the bugs out of it, and all the good things that come with making a brand new part of the game. Because as we've seen these past couple weeks, new parts of the game make old parts of the game very broken sometimes.
So my thing is this, right? They can do this one of two ways. Part A, which I'm hoping, is going to be, how right now, when you unlock an ornament for a piece of armor or a weapon, it just disappears into the ether, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go to that weapon and, hey, there you go. You have an ornament. You don't store it anywhere. It's just, in the air, as it were, right? Now, if they do that with all of these armors for the 2.0, think about how much vault space that would clear up. They wouldn't even need to give us any more vault space at that point in time, because all of our quote-unquote ornaments would just be in the ether somewhere, right?
Don't say we don't need more vault space, because you're going to have people keeping their year 1 Uriel skiffs and their 16 Redrix broadswords.
Yeah, but not all of the armors, right? Think about how much space you'd clear up if you didn't have 2 or 3 pages full of armor. See?
I don't keep that much armor anyway. Armor's never been my issue, but yeah, I absolutely see what you're saying.
Right. But what's most likely going to happen, because that's how Bungie likes to do things, is they could have done it the easy way, but instead they're going to do it the hard way. We're going to be able to turn our armor into ornaments, but we're going to have to store those ornaments somewhere, like skins or shaders or whatever, right? So that's going to be my fear, and that's probably how it's going to happen.
I doubt they would build out a whole new, since the ornaments don't live anywhere now. I doubt that they would build out a thing to make those ornaments real items you have to sort and store and manage.
And I totally agree.
So I don't see them building. But I don't see them. I don't see them building something new just for that. That if it works like this way now, why break it? It's just one more thing they have to bug test and fix.
Because it might not be classified as the same kind of ornament. I don't know. I don't know if it is going to be classified as the same kind of ornament that we already get for weapons and armor, or if it's going to be a different kind of quote unquote classification for ornament, right? So we don't know. And
you know what we do know?
What's that?
We're getting some combat meditations.
And
we're going to take to the skies. Are you excited to take to the skies?
Always.
So excited.
That's
why
the
friendly skies. Because we were getting.
For a while, I went to play Anthem because I wanted to fly. I wanted to play Destiny while flying. So yeah.
Remember when 100%. That game was a thing for 2 seconds? So we have a new 3-player matchmade activity that can be launched from the tower or the director. When you leave from the tower, your entire fire team might come with you. They might not. It's always a 50-50 shot. Mm-hmm. So your goal will be to defeat as many mini bosses as possible before time expires. When your time runs out, you will face off against the final boss. Once the boss is defeated, you will set out across the EAZ in search of your treasure chests. The more many bosses you defeat, the more chests will await you. The chests contain Solstice packages, which can be opened with the Solstice key fragment earned by completing any activity during the Solstice of Heroes, similar to the Essence of Dawning. So we've got the Infinite Forest. Now it's going to be in the European Aerial Zone, and we've got the open treasure chests. And the more bosses you defeat, the more chests you get to open, which is what people have been wanting for the Menagerie. So we have a little bit of that mechanic, a little bit of this mechanic, and we're putting it all together. And we're going to be on a different planet this time because
you glossed over
nobody wants to go back into the forest anymore.
You glossed over something important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's it at? Once the boss is defeated, you will set out across the EAZ in search of the treasure chest. So it's not going to just appear in front of you like it has in past events. You got to go find.
Can I work for
it? We did work for it by defeating the bosses.
Right. So it's a similar mechanic to the you've earned your Imperials, you've turned in your bounty, now go open the chest that's hiding on the various planets.
Now,
so
if it's not being timed,
all those good mechanics into one.
Right. If it's being timed, that's going to suck. If it's not being timed, like you get the key to a treasure chest and that treasure chest appears somewhere and you can just get it at your leisure, great. But if you going out to get the treasure chest is a part of this timed event, like you have X number of time to kill the bosses and however many bosses you kill there, now you have X number of time to go find the chests that you've earned.
But a tip for that might be to have the EDZ go for treasure chests. So because it's going to be on the EDZ, it may still count.
EAZ.
I know it's going to be on the EAZ, which is the European Aerial Zone, but because it's still based on the EDZ, that ghost might still work.
So
hopefully.
Whenever I have Top Tree Hunter Void, you can see treasure chests and stuff on your map, but I cannot see the treasure chest you get from the robot guy, right? Even though I'll be standing right next to it, it won't show up on my map, even though I have the ability to see treasure chests and things. Have you guys been able to see those chests
all the time?
Ghosts?
Not with the ghosts, no. I've been able to see them, but not with the ghosts.
How do you see them? Like not like on your aerial map.
With
like,
my eyeballs, I look and I see where the chest is.
What I'm saying is when you're in game, right? Let's say you're around the chest, right?
Yep.
You look on the map, you're around the little X, but you can't see the chest on your mini map.
Right.
There's no ghost that'll help you see that chest on your mini map?
No.
Okay. Not on the mini map.
So
no.
I'm thinking that's probably going to be the same mechanic for these chests as well.
But it wouldn't hurt to try.
It wouldn't hurt to try, absolutely. I'm just saying, I think the
we
mechanics
will find a
will be
way.
Similar.
So, and here's where we get into our big lightly highlighted. This is where the spoilers start of what this quest is going to be, how this quest is going to work. So again, if you don't want to listen to it, fast forward until some sort of music or dancing occurs. So the quest opens with we're going to go visit our best friend Eva Levante in the tower. She will not be dating Zur. She will be in the tower. She will be next to the statue of Heroes. She will give you a drained armor set. She's happy to see you. She congratulates you. She gives you a drained armor set. As you finish your exploration of the aerial zone, a ghost receives a message from Eva herself. She'd like to speak with you at your earliest convenience. We'll take you to the EAZ for your run through the event the first time, teaching you how it works, what to do, probably answering some of these questions of where the chests are, how to get to them, and if it's timed. Your ghost will receive coordinates to a literal floating island somewhere off the coast of the Winding Cove in the European Dead Zone, which has cheekily been dubbed the European Aerial Zone. And apparently it's an excellent place to perform combat drills and meditate. So if you've got your meditation emote, put that on, you'll get extra points. No, you won't.
How many people are going to be flying off these rocks? If you're jumping from rock to rock to rock to complete each activity, I can just see myself falling off each and every time.
Well, it's probably going to be something like the Infinite Forest.
The
There's going to be like a connecting thing once you defeat one island.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
even
guess.
with that, I kept falling off.
Is.
There was holes. It's not good for Titans, especially if you're running around trying to shoulder charge things.
You mean Titans aren't OP when it comes to something? Oh my god! No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we you don't make Titans jump. We stand on the ground and kill things. We don't jump.
Right.
We don't
Well,
want to jump and climb trees.
even a Titan jump is better than a Warlock jump, though. At least you know how to jump up, right?
This is true.
Yeah.
Right, so you do your little tutorial mission. You get your ruin set. You take the statue. It becomes a drain set, and then it sort of puts you off on your way to power up that drain set by collecting light from the EAZ. Yada yada yada. So again, this is all data mine steps, so it's not entirely clear with some of the specifics, but you go see Eva, you go to the EAZ, you'll get an armor set that'll set you out on your way. Because your Solstice packages, they're going to award rare and legendary gear, enhancement cores, and it says materials, I assume, are planetary materials.
Maybe. Any kind of materials.
Yeah, materials of some sort. Glue, scotch tape, who knows. So your Solstice packages are also going to contain the untold treasures from the EAZ. And to open them, you're going to need those Solstice key fragments. It's a consumable rewarded by Eva from the Solstice bounties that will aid you in your quest, called a fragment magnet. The consumable item also attracts key fragments at an alarming rate. So if you get one of these fragment magnets, you'll get all sorts of key fragments very quickly. Use them at your own risk. It looks like it might be mixed in with a quest called a Key to the Power and the Treasure Hunt. Once you've earned your full set of legendary Solstice armor, Solstice packages will reward you with additional armors. You can hunt for a version of the Solstice armor with enhanced perks on it. There's also a Sparrow that's been data mined. We'll have links to in the show notes. And collecting the Solstice armors on all three classes will give you access to the Ep.27 Void Streak Sparrow. And there's also new shaders, a pomegranate and tangerine gloss shaders. There's going to be, we'll put some links in the show notes to some other stuff. There's a flag on the play, paperwork, breathe in, silly handshake, and flick of the wrist emotes.
Hip bump.
And a hip bump. So basically, overall for what we're going to be looting for this event, there's 3 exotic ghosts, a jubilant shell, a buoy shell, and a shaded shell. There's 2 exotic videos, the Micro Mini and the Legacy 2, an exotic ship, the Summertide Kite. I'm sorry, exotic vehicles. Ooh. Well, the only vehicle we have is a Sparrow so far, unless they're going to give us new vehicles, maybe a golf cart. We're going to have 2 legendary ghost projections, the Triumphant and the Buried Treasure projection. Maybe the Buried Treasure projection will show you where your buried treasure is. We're going to have 4 rare ghost projections, Sunglasses, Crab, Beach Ball, and Palm Tree. 2 transmit effects, the Sandcastle effect and the Beach Ball effect. I want to be a sandcastle. We're going to have 6 different bundles where you can buy with silver. They're going to have seasonal armor sets and armor glow sets. You're going to have the glow set for Solar, Arc, and Void armor, as well as seasonal armor sets for Hunters, Titans, and Warlocks. So about the same thing you'd expect to see from any kind of seasonal event in Destiny. Tess is also selling a She's also conselling.
She's also conselling.
Yes. Yes. Contessa is conselling consumables for Bright Dust. Tess is selling something for Bright Dust that is classified. We don't know what it is yet. And I think Cheese Forever had a video this week on, again, we focused on last week about sort of previewing your silver purchases and trying to get rolls, trying to get things. So go back and look at our show notes from last week, look at his video for that, so you can sort of see what's in these packages before you buy them and what some of the rolls are, and you can sort of refund them and get the roll you're looking for.
So upgrading your armor. Sean, I'll do this bit. It looks green to me. Looks like we're okay.
It's always green to you.
Yeah. Solstice of Hero armor sets will need to be upgraded from their drained, uncommon state to their renewed state. Completing the armor upgrade process will grant you the Majestic legendary set. So to upgrade the armor, Guardians must complete a variety of objectives on each armor piece before they advance to the next set. There will be a final set of objectives available to unlock the Masterwork versions of the set. So if you were around for Solstice last year, it sounds like we're doing exactly the same kind of thing. You go off, do different missions, do different things, and they'll upgrade certain parts of your armor. And then once you've done that, you can then masterwork the item like we did last year. And last year we ended up with an extra 5+ light when we were going into Forsaken.
Or we didn't, because we said, I can't take this armor forward and buy what I care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, for those who actually finished it, yes, that's what you get.
So Bungie say, we know while upgrading these sets is an experience. It does take a committed amount of time and effort. They've decided, based on player feedback, to make the Solstice of Hero armor the first set of 2.0 set of armor that you receive, assuming you earn it, of course. And what that means is whatever full legendary set that you earn now will have their new armor 2.0 version waiting for you to pick up from the gunsmith when Shadowkeep releases. So they say that you'll only be able to see the set for the character that you are logged in as, and you will have to switch characters to claim each other eligible set. So you're not going to see a 2.0 version now. Even when you complete it, it's not going to show you any of the stats or anything like that. It's basically a set that once you've upgraded it and you pick up the 2.0 armor set with Shadowkeep, you can then dismantle this set that you've got, because the Shadowkeeps will be there for you.
Yeah, and that's super important, because I think we all saw some version of, oh, this will be your first 2.0, armor 2.0 drop, and we're all thinking, oh, great, we're going to have it now, or have it soon to play with before September. No, gotta wait for September. Armor 2.0 rolls out in September. So do you want to tell us about the quest steps to upgrade the armor? Which, again, this is all data mined and subject to whatever.
Talking to me or talking to him?
I'll do this bit.
Either one of you.
We seem to be all right.
I mean, I can. Just tell me.
So here are the quest steps to upgrading the armor. So you've got to strengthen your Drained Solstice armor set by connecting to the light and completing armor objectives.
You can do it, buddy. You can do it.
I know. With your complete Drained Solstice armor set equipped, return to the Statue of Heroes and meditate. Again, we did this last year with the Solstice stuff. So once you've completed all the objectives on each armor piece, you can then return to the statue and then meditate, and then that will give you a new set of armor. It won't, as far as I remember, it just upgraded the set that you were wearing, wasn't it? It didn't give you a full new set, guys. Do you remember?
Yeah, that's what happened. It just upgraded what you were currently wearing.
Yeah.
And I think you had to actually unequip it. Didn't you have to unequip it so that you could infuse it and then put it back on? Or am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of something else, I think.
Okay.
So once you've done that, it will be a renewed set of Solstice armor. And again, you go off and do different activities and strengthen your renewed set. Complete all of the objectives on each piece of armor. Then return to the statue, meditate again, and it will give you the last piece of armor set and a reward from Eva Levante. That the Solstice bounties are also given by Eva Levante. So that's roughly what you have to do, but breaking it down individually from the datamined stuff. Upgrading the Drained armor set. So for Titan, you have to complete runs through the EAZ, land in precision final blows, and defeat hive combatants. You've got to loot chests in the EAZ, complete Solstice Hero bounties, defeating enemies in the EAZ whilst equipped with an Arc subclass. Complete adventures, collecting solar orbs in strikes and defeating opposing guardians in Crucible or Gambit. Complete public events on Nessus, collect void orbs in Crucible or Gambit and unlock Solstice packages. Final step is complete playlist strikes, collect elemental orbs of any type in any activity, and complete Crucible or Gambit matches. So each one of those is going to be represented by a piece of armor. So say you're playing strikes and collecting elemental orbs, that may actually complete some of the quest steps on your boots and your gauntlets at the same time. So it's going to be across several different things. You just have to keep a track on each armor piece. Same with the Hunter, but with the Hunter, it's complete runs through the EAZ, land in precision final blows, and defeat fallen combatants. And the difference with the looting chests in the EAZ and collecting elemental orbs of any type, you have to have a solar subclass equipped, whereas the Titan was Arc. And you can guess it, Warlock is defeating Cabal combatants, and theirs is going to be Void subclass. So that's how you upgrade the 5 pieces of armor that you get across the different sets for the Drained. And they'll probably tell you on each item what you need to do. Then going into the renewed set, so once you've gone to the statue, said a prayer, and you've got your renewed set, starting again with the Titan, but this time I've got it kind of broken down what you actually get. So completing gambit matches, collecting elemental orbs using matchmaking, arc kills, solar kills, void kills subclass, and as a team, defeat opposing guardians in Crucible or Gambit using arc weapons. Once you complete that, you get the helmet. Complete heroic public events, complete daily or weekly challenges, and defeat mini-bosses in the EAZ, and that will reward you the gauntlets. Defeating enemies in strikers using a subclass that matches arc, solar, or void for that day. Loot chests in the EAZ, and defeat Fallen using the subclass that matches arc, solar, or void for that day. And your reward for that is your chest piece. Completing bounties, collecting void orbs in any strike, and defeating enemy combatants with solar melees, and that rewards you with your boots. And then completing patrols on IO, collecting elemental orbs of any type on the EAZ, and defeating any combatants with solar weapons, and that will reward you with the Time Mark. So the only thing that's kind of different with the Hunter, completing patrols on the EDZ, that's the only different part of that kind of quest. Again, I haven't kind of found out what item is rewarded for each piece, but as I said, it'll be on every different item.
And it's probably similar. Titan and the Warlock and the Hunter are probably all similar in which thing gives you. But again, it's data mined, so we have what we have.
Yeah. The thing is, where it's not all kind of in the same order, it's each one may vary. So completing bounties, they unlock your gauntlets. So until we actually get there, we don't actually know 100%. And the Warlock is completing patrols on Titan. And then go to the statue, do your meditation. That will get you your Majestic set. And masterworking the Majestic set for Titan, Hunter, and Warlock, you have to complete a Prestige Nightfall with a score of 200,000 or better, and that rewards you with the helmet. Completing playlist strikes with clanmates, that reward you gauntlets. Complete the dungeon Shattered Throne in Dreaming City with a fire team of 2 players or fewer, so you can do it solo. That will reward you with the chest. Reset your Season 7 Valour ranking in Crucible, will reward you with the boots. And defeat challenge combatants throughout the system will reward you with your mark, your bond, or your whatever it is, hood, cape, thing, whatever the hunters have.
So that's what our big long armor grind looks like.
Yeah, I guess.
But what's confusing with that is that you've got to do the Shattered Throne. So we had the Shattered Throne last week, didn't we? So we're on the first week with Iron Banner this week. So the first week of Solstice is going to be week 2. Is it going to be a rush for everybody to get through the Shattered Throne in the second week of Solstice? Or is it going to be up permanently since week 3 comes around? Is it going to be open up to everyone?
That's a good question. I would hope that they're going to open it to everyone, or open everyone starting the second week when they realize that this is how this is playing out. But yeah, I'm
hoping they would calculated that into it, because it would be a bit hard for everybody to get all the sets upgraded within 2 weeks. Because I'm looking at it like it's a 3-week event. I'm going to do a character a week because, holidays, family, stuff like that. Other people that don't have enough time to play will probably just concentrate on doing one character. And if they're halfway through the, renewed set in the second week, they've got to try and rush it through to get to that Majestic set so that they can then do the Shattered Throne. It's going to be a bit hard. So hopefully, cross fingers, it is kind of an unlocked event from there on in.
Yep, and you have to do this per character. It's not even account bound.
You have to do this 3 times, which that's a lot.
I think
it's a bit.
Resetting your Valour for Season 7, if it's retroactive from now, or you have to do it whilst Solstice is on. So hopefully it's retroactive, but if you're not, hang on to your Valour if you are working your way up towards it in the last couple of weeks until you get to that kind of quest step.
I hope some of it's retroactive. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really silly doing the Shattered Throne with the 2 of us. And then having to go do it again.
Right?
It's all good times.
Luckily, I only have to worry about 2 characters.
Well, you won't be getting the Sparrow then, my friend, will you?
Yeah.
I guess
we can lord that over you with the ship that we got last year as well. Sparrows and ships.
I'm not sure I'm going to do it on the second character either, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how my motivation goes and how the first grind goes.
Also, that Valour reset is account wide, right? You don't have to do that for each character. That would be nuts.
That's going to be one hell of a grind if
Right?
every character has to reset their Valor rank.
Good
All right.
lord.
10x the Valor grind. Here we go. The Solariest Iron Banner.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want it. Stay away from me. Mommy, please make the bad man go away.
So the extras that we're getting this year, apparently there's not going to be an event engram like we've had for previous things. Instead, every single item is going to be available for direct purchase using silver or bright dust, which is the way that we're
Silver.
now going.
And bright dust, not ore. So some things will be silver, some things will be bright dust.
Well, you say that. Could be.
Well,
So basically the same way that it is now, except you have more options. Like
No, because look, the next line. All Eververse items will be available for bright dust at some point during the event.
well, there we go.
Armor
Look at us.
Armor glows will be available for you to add to your Solstice Heroes armor set.
And
Will
most
remain
importantly,
Go on.
no, most importantly, what does that last line say? The line that we all want to read?
Armor glows will remain available for use after the Solstice of Heroes event has ended. So
Dun, dun, dun,
If it
dun.
you'll be even more of a target in the Crucible and Gambit when people invade.
Exactly. That's what it's there for. I can't be a deer, but at least I can glow and have my little Titan wings all year round. So I'm happy again. The little things that were like, hey guys, you put all this hard work into this time locked event where after August, if it goes away, I'm not going to bother grinding for it because who cares? But I'm happy to see them adding it and saying this is going to be a thing you'll have. Now again, it'll be a thing until this armor is no longer valid or useful. But at least we'll have something to show for our efforts, not just for the 3 weeks this event is on.
Respawn,
Yo,
would you like to take us through what the EAZ is?
sure. Give me 1 second. All right, loud off. Okay, so the EAZ is made up of 7 different zones. The meditation grounds, the ruins, the town, the factory, the mall, the garage, and the courtyard. Each day, a different energy will fill the air and allow you to become empowered. Solar energies blast through the EAZ, filling the air with the smell of sun-baked earth, ozone,
Grits.
or potential. Oh, hold on. No. Okay, so I see what they did there. Solar energies blast through the EAZ, filling the air with the smell of sunken earth, sun-baked earth. Arc
With the
energies
the
crackle
scent of
through
grits.
the EAZ, filling the air with the smell of ozone. And void energies pulse through the EAZ, filling the air with the smell of potential. What does potential smell like?
Grape, obviously. Purple is grape, so potential smells like grape.
Sun-baked earth, okay, that's like, you could say that that's like maybe a burning forest or a desert or whatever, right?
It's
Ozone?
It
grits.
smells like in real life now with our heat wave.
Ozone is just
As we
like
discussed earlier, it
O3,
smells like grits.
right? So that would smell like an oxygen bar, let's say in Colorado, as an example. But potential, the hell does potential smell like?
You know
Grapes.
when you get there.
Grapes. Move on.
Grapes. While these are active, you can run similar energies to generate orbs. Equip your we already. I hate repetitive stuff. Equip your solar subclass and weapons to generate solar orbs. Holy crap! We already said that. And collect them to become solar empowered. We said that too. While empowered,
then
guardians
gloss
emit a
through it
burning wave
and
of
move
energy.
on.
We said that too. All right,
Quit your
everybody.
bitching and move on.
You've already heard these two. I'm moving on. Thank you. Okay, so the event strings make it seem like it will be almost like a solo gambit match with multiple bosses, waves for the player to kill within a time limit. You have time remaining.
No, that'd be more interesting
Targets
than
neutralized.
the forest nonsense we've been doing.
Yeah,
Hadn't thought about being like a gambit match Halo firefight type situation.
Possibly.
so the things counting against you are times remaining, targets neutralized, progress that you've made, mini bosses eliminated, whether or not you've defeated all bosses. And each wave is filled with Cabal, and they get reinforcements. An engineer arrives to support the Cabal, and a mosquito arrives to support the Cabal.
Mosquitoes support no one. That's clearly a typo.
Right? That's what I'm trying. Is that the ship? The
Mosquitoes are not support classes or support characters. They're here to suck your blood. Mosquitoes are not supportive. I don't believe you.
is that red Cabal ship that we're always shooting down? Is that actually called the Mosquito? I never knew that. Huh.
No idea.
Look at that. There seems to also be a high value target called Prismatic Taken that spawns as well. You get to hunt for Prismatic Taken. A Prismatic Taken is roaming nearby. The Prismatic Taken has escaped. Defeat Prismatic Taken hiding near the zone name, right? Fill in the blank. Prismatic Taken Centurion, Prismatic Taken Knight, Prismatic Taken Captain. And possibly waves that aren't about killing bosses at all, but opening hidden chests. You have hidden chests, you have chests looted. Hidden chests will appear throughout the area when the timer runs out. Get ready to look for them. Search for the hidden chest as time allows, and something secret is hidden nearby. Enemies you will encounter in the EAZ will be Cabal and Fallen, Hive Cabal and Fallen. There are a list of enemy names that have yet to be seen in-game. These should be new mini-bosses and boss monsters we fight. Uprooted Shank. Okay, so this is going to be Uprooted Shank, Captain, Servitor, Centurion, Gladiator, Incinerator, Wizard, Knight, Ogre. And then you have Engineer Scion. Daz Dar, Unbowed Legion. Let's go.
Yeah, these are probably our actual boss names.
Right. Moverg, Unbowed Legion. Shogmar, Unbowed Legion. Vrag, Sister of Talam. Sister of Vrag.
So 2 sisters, got it.
Right. Alex 1, Eric's 6, Mavax 12, Asbel Far From Home,
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Right? Fensis Loyal to Ornaments, and Ir Abbasin Broodlost.
Nice.
I feel like I've just expanded my vocabulary by -5. Okay.
Now, which one of these is going to appear in the game, just get stepped on by some other character, and then we're not actually going to fight them at all?
Right? Hopefully, all of them. This is just a series. This is starting from beginning to end. The Shank gets crushed by the captain, gets crushed by the servitor, gets crushed by the centurion. In the end, all you have to fight is Ir Abbasin, the boss. Everyone else gets crushed by the previous one, or crushes the previous one. There you go. Solar Week. There's a few lines about Solar Week that are mentioned in, again, the datamined info. ... has swept the system, imbuing all Guardians with enhanced solar energy. In response, Lord Saladin has declared a week of celebration. Many solar subclass paths have been refreshed and improved. Visit Bungie.net for more details. I'm pretty sure he's got that listed here somewhere eventually, so just stand by. Many tower vendors.
This is my stuff.
Okay. Many tower vendors.
Something's going to happen. Visit.net to read about it.
Listen,
Solar
Robo
Wolves.
Demon.
I hope it's Solar Wolves.
Hey, robot. Do not
exactly.
attack me.
Any second, I'm just expecting him to say, "Danger, Will Robinson! Danger, danger!"
Danger, Robinson, danger!
That came through, so I don't know what the problem is. I'm just speaking that voice exclusively. Apparently, that has the right bandwidth you need.
Yeah, you got all the pauses in the right places, and now Craig is happy. He has a buddy.
Yeah.
He's gone back to being green.
See? Told you. Many tower vendors are offering bounties to solar wielders. Complete them in style by participating in solar Singe activities. New solar-themed emotes are now... Okay, I just want to point out that during Solar Week, how funny would it be if all of the Singe activities were either Void or Arc?
Yes.
Just saying. New solar-themed emotes are now available at the Eververse store.
So
I'm recovering.
clearly, because this is Saladin and something is sweeping through the galaxy,
It must be
flaming.
Siva.
It's flaming wolves. It's definitely flaming wolves. It
It's
can't be anything
Siva.
but
They've
flaming
taken our
wolves.
flaming walls away from us.
It's Siva.
So does that mean I need to put my syntheseps on with my brand new Siva ornament and punch things with the power of Siva to make it go away? Because
Did you
I'd be all
even
about
have to
that.
ask that question?
Yeah, the people need to know.
Well, you shouldn't
It's
have had to
important.
ask that question. That should have been obvious. Duh.
I spent the 2000 whatever brightest on that this week. The Flex Enhanced replicate because I want Siva arms.
There you go. Siva arms are amazing. Bounties available. I'm sorry,
No,
I didn't
no.
read this first part. What?
Definitely kind of thing.
What?
With Iron Banner, since it runs just about every 4 weeks.
Somehow that's worse.
But I got every single word of it. Okay, and
Right?
we're running raids. I'm going to need you to speak in that voice because apparently that voice goes through whatever sort of connection problems that the Brexiting unions are having. It's not my fault. Your entire country's trying to peace out on the world. It's not my
We
problem.
have 2 bots. We have Craig and Bot Demon, or Nightbot, whatever you prefer.
Nightbot.
Definitely Nightbot, Dinklebot, Demonbot, Nightbot, Craigbot.
So, what he's missed out is with Iron Banner seeming to run just about every 4 weeks, this would suggest that Solar Week runs alongside the Iron Banner, which will be the last one of the season. This should be August 10th, and it'll be the last week of Solstice of Heroes. So this is the Solar Week that Bungie aren't talking about. That is possibly there, but not there. But it's going to be there. Let's face it.
Yeah, we're going to get revamped solar subclasses. I refuse to get excited about Solar Week because Arc Week burned me, and no, I'm not doing it again.
You know, with the bad juju being a thing now, and last week we were talking about bottom tree solar hunter already being pretty good, right? I wonder how they're gonna revamp the hunter solar subclass, and if it's gonna. Oh man, I hope it makes it better, not worse. Because
I mean, given the changes they made, I mean, for Arc Week, all of the build up of Arc Week, the changes of the subclasses were good, legitimate changes. So I'm not too worried about the changes they're making to things. The real question is which subclass is going to be hilariously broken and superly overpowered for the duration of this event. Is it going to be Warlocks? Is it going to be Titans? Is it going to be Hunters? Who's going to have that one-hit kill, ability on strike bosses and raid bosses and whatever else because of things you can stack?
Listen, yeah. I know I'm biased. And
how many solar grenades can you throw? Should be throwing solar grenades right now.
No, but listen. I know I'm biased, but just imagine for a second, right? Top tree, 6-shooter hunter, where you get more energy back per kill, and you just you complete an entire section of a mission using nothing but your golden gun because you keep getting enough energy back to keep it going.
Yep. As soon as you said that, that's what I was thinking. Bottom tree striker titan, top tree golden gun hunter. You're like, I'm gonna golden gun all the things. They're all gonna be dead.
So many things.
So with Solstice, we're going to get some new bounties, and I'm guessing they're going to be from Eva. They'll probably rotate each day. Did I say that right? Rotate
out.
Yeah.
Rotate is not correct. Yeah. Rotate out will accept.
Yeah. So they rotate out each day. Apart from there's going to be a weekly one, which is called In All the Places, in All the Things, and that's collect elemental orbs of light in pursuits throughout the system. So with that, we have the ones as will run through the arc, but they're very similar for Void and Solar. So defeating enemy combatants in the EAZ with arc subclass. Again, that would be Solar and Void variations, probably for each day that will correspond with each one. Defeating enemy combatants in the EAZ with arc weapons. Loot chests in the EAZ. Defeat guardians in Crucible using arc subclass. Defeat enemy combatants in strikes using the arc subclass. Defeat enemy combatants in the EAZ using the Arc subclass. Defeat taken combatants in the EAZ using the Arc subclass. You get the drift. And then there are certain strikes that you need to complete. So for the Arc one, there's complete the Exodus Crash, which is an Arc one. Then you have to harvest. You have to harvest Data Lace on Nessus and Ethereal Spirals from the Tangled Shore. Defeat high-value targets with Arc subclasses. Defeat enemy combatants with Arc-aligned power weapons. So you get the general gist. There's going to be different ones each day that you can complete, whatever the burn is for that corresponding daily bounty available, or several bounties available from Eva.
I really hope this is coming through. Otherwise, it's going to be like the worst podcast we've done. You're breaking up so bad. I mean, last time Craig was recording it, but for us trying to keep up with what you're saying, it's rough, man.
Yeah, it's come through the last couple times, and we can tell what you're reading, so it's fine.
Okay, yeah. I am gonna stick to not reading again. Take it away. This week at Bungie.
This week at Bungie. This is a parody thing. So congrats.
No, you did the top part because Parody's got his known issues. He's got quite a few pages.
All right. So this week at Bungie, 7/25/2019. Things are heating up for the Solstice of Heroes. If you have what it takes to fully upgrade your armor, set to the legendary. Oh, damn it. If you have what it takes to fully upgrade your armor set to the legendary tier, you'll also find Armor 2.0 version of you, Solstice of Heroes.
It's a copy and paste. I can't explain.
Read gooder.
I know it's a copy and paste. That's why it's funny, because this is official. 2.0 version of you, Solstice armor, not your Solstice of Heroes set at Gunsmith when Shadowkeep launches. Right?
And I think we've explained that it's not the set that you're getting now.
Right.
But Respawn would love to explain it again to you in great detail.
No, I'm good.
No,
a few changes are coming back for fun. I hate repetitive things. I'm sorry. A few changes are coming out next week for both that quest and a certain wolf-themed weapon. So let's get to it. Commemorative. Sometimes there are weapons that bring a bit of chaos to the meta. The weekend of the Prometheus Lens, otherwise known as Laser Tag Weekend, best weekend ever, is a great example. Lord of Wolves also falls into this category. Next week, Destiny 2 Update 2.5.2 will rein in the wolves a bit by reducing the amount of ammo Guardians pick up and toning down the effective range of this weapon. As promised last month, we've created an emblem and a triumph for those who brave the wolves during the Season of Opulence. Next week, qualifying players will receive a Lost History package at the Postmaster, which will unlock a unique triumph. Once the triumph is claimed, the emblem will be granted. To qualify for the Wolves Unleashed emblem, players must have finished an Iron Banner match between 10 a.m. PDT June 18th and 10 a.m. PDT June 25th, 2019, or between the same dates this week. Additionally, we've created an emblem for those who embraced the madness back in 2017 when skulls were melted during the reign of the Prometheus Lens. To qualify for the Prismatic Inferno emblem, players must have finished a Crucible match between 10 a.m. PST December 8th and 10 a.m. PST December 12th, 2017. Now, this is what bugs me about that. I didn't do any Crucible, but I did a lot of Trials that week.
Trials is Crucible. It's the same thing.
I'm hoping that it is.
PvP.
Well, you say this, but Parody's got your handy little list for you to check, haven't you, Parody?
The hell did you just say?
That you're asking the same question. Well, you're asking a similar question to what other people are asking, going, what did I do for 3 days in December of 2017? I don't remember what I was doing. I don't remember what Destiny I was playing. So we're going to put a link in the show notes to the secret Scrubland Dieu, because it's a long, ridiculous URL. It's chrisfree.github.io/secret-scrubland DEUX. And if you go there, again, link in the show notes, you can put in your Destiny gamer tag, and it will tell you what activities you played on what day where. It's basically a time wasted on Destiny, but better. So you can actually go down and see, put in your gamer tag, hit the search bar, give it a second to pull up, the many, many, many days you've wasted in Destiny. You can then filter it by Crucible, and you can look back and look at those 3 days in December of 2017 and say, what did I do? Because there's basically, it'll give you little colored boxes. Green boxes, you played a little bit. Yellow is you played a lot. Red is you spent all day on Destiny. Please go outside and look at the sun sometimes. And you can actually click into each day and it will tell you exactly which activity you played, how long you were in that activity. So you can say, let me go back and look. Did I play Destiny for 3 days? Was I in the Crucible at all? Will I get this snazzy little emblem?
No to all. Where's that link at in our show notes? I don't see it anywhere.
I just put it in the Discord so we can add to the show notes because it's a, stupidly long address that's hard to read for people over text.
Gotcha. Because I was looking here. Okay, so
and now
let me test this out.
And now everyone's favorite part of the show. Did you play? Did you do it?
I'm putting it in. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Did you do it?
Working on it.
Did you do it? Is there?
Okay,
Did it work?
How do you filter? Okay, there's the filter, right? Crucible, bam.
Mm-hmm.
What are these dates I'm looking for?
Then go over to 2017 under 12.
Yep, I'm here.
And then it's it goes if you mouse over each of the little gray boxes or whatever color box, it'll tell you what date it is.
Yeah.
And you can click into that date and it will show you.
Well, what's the range of dates? It's 9, 10, 11, or 12, right?
The 8th to the 10th.
Okay, so I'm in 2017.
I'm sorry, 8th to the 12th. You're right. I read
but
good.
I don't even know what month this is. It just says 9, 10, 11, and 12. It doesn't show what is that?
Which month is the 12th month of the year? That's December.
So that's the 12th. Okay, that's what
it is.
All right,
on the left-hand side, you've got 2017 for the year.
Yeah.
And then 9, 10, 11, 12 for the months in that year.
Mm-hmm.
So go under the one that says 12.
Yep.
And then you're going to look under 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12 for those days.
Yep, I did it. I got me a green there.
Yeah. So I can tell you on December 8th, 2017, I played 5 hours and 51 minutes of Destiny. And some of that was spent in Clash, Quick Play, and Supremacy, and played a little bit of Trials that weekend.
Yep, that's what I did. I got the Supremacy, Volstock, and some Trials in there too. I only played for like an hour and a half though. You got me beat by a lot.
You can see which days you just spent all the hours in Destiny. The days that you spent, say, 14 hours or more, and it's a bright red box, and you're going, what was I doing that day? Oh, right, all the things.
Right.
Or the
I don't
14
have
hours.
any red boxes anywhere.
Or the 14 hours you spent harvesting materials out of a forge recently. We won't talk about that.
Oh, there's the red. Okay, I don't have any red in Crucible, but I got red everywhere else. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Overall red. I don't have the Crucible red either, but this is one of those moments you click into this and go, Destiny has an insane amount of information about me and the games I play and how well I did. And it's all out there in the ether, in the internet.
That's not creepy at all.
No.
My wife to find out, I die.
Would you say today's your anniversary? So it's the day that your marriage begins and ends? Isn't that what you said earlier?
Good.
No, she loves me today.
Yeah. Tomorrow and the rest of the days, we'll see. But today you're good. So yeah. But this is a fantastic site if you're trying to figure out any of these. Did I do this? What day? Or even if you're going, what was that day that I went and danced in the tower with Houndish Night Demon? You can go back and try to find it. If you can figure out what day it was, you can figure out where you were, and it'll show you. It won't show you the tower, but it'll show you any activities you played in. So if you're like, oh yeah, I played that game with, Rick Hackus or True Vanguard or Houndish or whatever, and chase them around the map, you can go find that game if you remember what day it was and find every post game action report in the entire game, because data, it lives in the clouds. And now that we've given you that long, excruciating explanation of how to find that information, the Night Demon, I assume, will turn us all into chipmunks. Right. We're getting everyone's favorite part, the patch note preview for patch 2.5.2, which will be released next week with the kicking off of Solstice of Heroes. Basically, we're bringing some balance to the Lord of Wolves. We're also going to fix some other things that are horribly broken, but first things first, Lord of Wolves, reducing the amount of ammo the shotgun scavenger perk can give to the Lord of Wolves when in the Release the Wolves state. We're decreasing the effective range of the Lord of Wolves, and the decrease is more aggressive when in the release of the Release the Wolves state. So we're bringing the Lord of Wolves back into a gun range and less into a cataclysmic weapon of Solary Death, which would be perfect for Solar Week, but no longer. Tribute Hall for the Tribute Hall triumph for the Emperor's Gladiator and Scoundrel in uniform will no longer require a full set of Leviathan gear equipped to proceed.
Crucible is the Gladiator, Scoundrel is Gambit.
Okay, yeah. All right, sorry, I wasn't coming up with my search. Okay, yeah, so the Tribute Hall for those two will no longer require the full set of Leviathan gear equipped to progress. So if you've got partially part of the gear equipped, I assume it'll give you a partial progression, probably less than the full gear will. We'll see. Oh, hey, actually we will see because here's the next line because I read ahead good. Players will earn more points based on the number of pieces worn, similar to other triumphs. So yeah, you don't need a full set. You have a partial set on, you'll still get there. Iron Banner. Iron Banner quest objectives will be adjusted for future events. So those of us who completed the first Iron Banner, we're out of luck. We've already done this. So we're going to reduce the grenade kills required by 50%, and ally grenade kills will be worth just as much as your own. We're also going to reduce the sword kills by 25%, and ally sword kills will be worth just as much as your own. Heroic Menagerie will drop a sword for the first completion 100% of the time. The subsequent completions will have a moderate chance to drop a sword 25% of the time. We're also going to fix an issue where completion notifications did not appear after completing bounties. This will also fix an issue where players would sometimes not spawn in during Crucible matches. I've noticed those two a lot. Yeah. Where I'll turn the game back on and all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, here's 4 bounties you did in that match. I honestly thought maybe they were doing it like in Crucible and things, or in Gambit, like the Tribute Hall ones, where they weren't showing up until the match completed and I went back to Orbit to maybe prevent people from leaving mid-game where they say, oh, I got this done and now I'm going to peace out. But apparently it's a bug.
Yeah. I mean, I'd been tracking those bounties. And when they disappeared from my tracker, I'd like, well, it hasn't popped up on the screen. I'd then have to go into the pursuits. It would then go, oh, by the way, you've completed that. I was like, I know I've completed it because it's disappeared from my tracker. And now you're telling me. So
right, and now it's there. Yeah, and it's nice. And it's good to see that the Invisible Crucible, or the not spawning into Crucible will be fixed. Because, yeah, like I said, I ran into that trying to play my 3 comp matches for the week and totally forgot that, oh yeah, that's what it was, is you spawn dead, and the poor guy that's left on your team walks around and goes, oh, now I'm being 1v4. This is cool. So we'll have additional bug fixes at, look at Bungie.help, look at their long list of bug fixes, and I feel like, weren't there other ones in here that you didn't mention? Didn't they fix the getting stuck on loading screens as well? For strikes and things?
Look, you can just go ahead and say it because every patch they fix that. That same issue.
Yeah, but I feel like I saw that mentioned somewhere.
It's like a default.
Aha. So strike loading, we've identified an issue causing players to sometimes get stuck with a loading on their screen during strike activities. This issue is expected to be resolved in the Destiny 2.5.2 update next week. So I've run into this numerous times. I tried to run 3 strikes in a row, and on all 3 points, I got to some part where you're changing areas, where sometimes you'd have like a momentary loading screen, or like in the Corrupted Strike where you jump down that first time and it loads.
And you end up in orbit.
It never actually loads you in. And I ran into one. I loaded the Menagerie this week. It happened to be one like halfway done. I said, okay, this is great. I can get my Menagerie run done, get my powerful drop, be done with it. Only we did the first room, and I went to go to the next room, and I got loading, and then kicked back to orbit for being, AFK basically. So good to see that they're going to fix that in 2.5.2, because yeah, I haven't been able to complete a strike this week because I can't get through one without it loading me to orbit. And the Menagerie, I only did the one run, and I said, yeah, I'm not, because I don't want to A, leave my 5 teammates high and dry, and B, I want to actually complete a Menagerie run and get to the chest versus getting through the first room and then going back to orbit. So yeah, that will be fixed because, yeah, that's been super annoying. And so we're going to have some patch prep to fix these various issues for 2.5.2 on Tuesday, July 30th at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 1600 UTC. Destiny 2 maintenance begins. All your apps will go offline at 9:45 a.m., basically 45 minutes later. Destiny 2 will go offline. If you're in the game, you'll be kicked back to orbit. 10 a.m., players will be allowed back online. Maintenance will be ongoing. Update 2.5.2 will roll out across all platforms and regions. By 11 a.m., maintenance will conclude. Destiny features will be back online. Your apps will start working again. So basically, it's a 2-hour window from 9 a.m. Pacific, whatever it is in your local time. 2 hours later.
You tell me what it is here in the local time. You normally tell us. What's your time?
I have no time.
No, but what time would it be for 9 a.m. Pacific for you on the East Coast?
9 a.m. Pacific is going to be 12 noon on the East Coast and 5 p.m. UK time, and sometimes the next day in Australia.
Yay! We did it. We have to keep people informed of the times.
Did we? That was painful. Like, I'm physically ill from what just transpired.
And they do have a quick fix if, you're trying to download this with everyone else in the world and it's taking an extraordinarily long time. They've got a couple links for manually updating on the PS4 or Xbox One that we'll put in the show notes. Players who do not see the update, hard power cycle your console. It should go out and pull the update for you. Again, follow Bungie Help, look at the Bungie forums, look at help.bungie.net if you are having problems. And yeah, that's our patch notes of the week. Who wants to talk about Emperor's Gladiator Triumph, the vital information? Or is that my vital information?
It's also yours.
Oh, it is also mine. Oh, there's so much. There's so much broken with the game. I mean, it's just so strike that, reverse it. So again, vital information, your Emperor's Gladiator Triumph. This week, Iron Banner has returned and bonus Valour is active in all Crucible playlists. So edge your way towards that Valour reset, but maybe don't reset it quite yet. Players should be aware that the Tribute Hall Triumph Emperators. Words. Okay, we're going to take a drink here.
Clear your mind. Hey, you can't say that.
Players should be aware that the Tribute Hall Triumph Emperor's Gladiator, which requires players to earn Valour in the Crucible while wearing Callus gear, does not gain extra progress while bonus Valour is active. Players will continue to earn progress toward this triumph, however. Progress will be applied at its normal rate. And again, currently you need to have a full armor set. After this patch drops, you do not need a full armor set. Wear as much of it as you can. And Destiny Season of Opulence, known issues. Even more known issues. Here we go. I knew it was in there somewhere. So again, our Crucible invisibility. We've identified an issue where some players appear nearly invisible intermittently during Crucible matches. They expect this to be fixed in 2.5.2, and the strike loading. So again, identify the issue with strikes just loading, and you can never complete them. They're going to fix that as well. And as we talked about, it's really exciting to be Nova bombed out of nowhere or see a sword running at you from across the map in a Crucible match. And then all of a sudden your entire team blinks back into existence or blinks out of existence. It makes control really interesting because you have no idea who's around you. So again, for all these issues and so many more, you can visit the Destiny 2 Season of Opulence known issues page. It's a long one. Get yourself a cold drink, put your feet up. You may make your way through it eventually.
And one day we might let Peroty do a whole podcast on all the known issues just to put you to sleep for that day.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any trouble sleeping and you can't afford like Prozac, we got Peroty for you reading off known issues.
That's what we'll do. I will do a one-off cast read that you can slow down, you can put some soothing music behind.
Some Barry White.
The longer, honestly, like I hit this link and I look at it and I just go, oh dear God, there's so many
quite
issues. A bit, and that's not even looking at like the particular like PC only issues or certain things. Like, no, there's a lot that's broken. So if you're having issues, as always, go look at the Bungie issues page. You're probably having it. I've run into, the two main ones are fixing. They say they're fixing with this upcoming week, and I'm sure there's more that I've run into that I don't know are known issues because who can remember all of these?
Right.
So, Craig is being good. I'm going to do the initial info. I love
how he said Craig is being good.
Right. I'm not doing the additional information.
No, go ahead. You're fine. No, it's just it's funny that right when you say the sentence like Craig is being good, he robots your ass.
So Cosmo, regarding the armor glow sets for Eververse, he says you can purchase them based on the element. If you purchase the arc set, you'll get the arc glow on all classes you've earned it on all classes you earn armor for, and there's a Reddit post for that. You don't have to masterwork the Solstice set to pick up the 2.0 version for Shadowkeep. There's a Reddit post for that. You do have to wait until Shadowkeep to see what the armor 2.0 is like. Reddit post for that. During the event, you can create any orbs on any day depending on your loadout. You just need to match that day's element to get the buff. Again, Reddit for that. And ask Reddit, and Cosmo replied, you're not going to lose any year 2 armor sets.
Reddit post for that.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose them. They're just going to be irrelevant.
Now I'm going to hand you over to Respawn, who may or may not have a rant for you. Let's pray it's a nice short one.
It is going to be a nice short one. So I've been thinking about this earlier when we were talking about the whole Solstice of Armors, and I kind of hinted on it whenever I came across the whole you have to do this per character instead of per account, and some people will defend the per character portion of this, right? And I can totally understand, hey, how can you complete this on the Hunter and then get it the same armor for the Titan? Well, there's arguments to both sides of that, but I'm gonna take the side of it should be account based, right? And because it's not account based, I was trying to figure out a way to put this into words, right? And I had a hard time trying to figure out how to put this into words that weren't just going to be bleeped out constantly by monkeys or dolphins or ducks or whatever Demon decides to fill the airwaves with, right?
I can still do that if you like. I can add them as extra background noise.
Just extra background noise.
I think we need like barnyard, just like neighing and whinnying in the background.
Just all of the things, dogs barking, cats meowing. But if I don't have words, I was thinking perhaps maybe I can put this in the form of like a feeling, right?
I thought you were going to give us a song or a poem just then.
No. So let's just say, okay, imagine, if you will, you're sitting at home and you're enjoying your favorite show with your favorite beverage. And then all of a sudden, and then it's up to you, right?
Okay. You're in a plush leather chair with your glass of brandy and your cigar. As Posh
I'm getting
Night
comfortable
Demon,
now. I'm just getting
how that we played with earlier this week.
You're just hanging out. You're having a really nice evening, and then all of a sudden, you hear the floor behind you creak, and then you black out.
And
you
wake
up
on the bonnet.
Yeah, that only happens a couple times a day. All right. But when you wake up, you find yourself tied to an old operating table in what, I don't know, I guess looks like an abandoned building of some kind. Okay. Someone, we don't know who, thinks it's fun to be cutting off various parts of you with a spoon, as an example, that has been only slightly sharpened due to being left outside and weathered. Right?
I'm going to have to put like a warning before this, aren't I? For you may scare the
kids. I guess. I mean, maybe, right?
You're scaring me because I'm just imagining what you're going on about and what's worse than
exactly. And this is how I feel about the. Hold on, I'm not done yet, though. Let me finish. This is how I feel about the armor. Okay. Now, this degenerate, for lack of a better word, has found some creative way of the spoon also applying lemon juice and salt into these fresh wounds as it's cutting you, right? You would think this would be bad enough, except then in the distance you hear anime playing, right? Some people like anime. What's so bad about that? Well, this sadistic, inhuman madman is playing the anime with English dubs instead of the original Japanese voices. Oh, the humanity of it, right?
And you've wandered into Respawn's house and you don't know why you're there.
But
don't go to Respawn's house. That was your first mistake. That's the emotion
I get when I think about having to do this armor grind on 3 separate characters instead of just one time and being able to enjoy it with the other characters, right? Because the grind isn't enjoyable. Being able to use the armor is enjoyable. So once you get the armor on one of your characters, you're like, yay, now I can use it. Crap, now I got to do it on a different character. You don't even have time to enjoy it on the one character before you have to swap to another one and begin the grind all over again.
Yeah, but you are looking at it from a
But do you?
just a general Destiny player, somebody that just plays average amount of time, average couple of weeks. Is probably only going to get maybe 1, maybe 2 sets done.
Exactly, and like I said, you know, there's arguments for both sides of this aisle, but I think that they should be account wide, just flat out. That way you can enjoy it. You can enjoy this armor on whatever character you decide to use it on for the majority of the Solstice event.
It's going to make Destiny redundant.
That's not true. That's not true because the armor is only part of it. The armor is only part of it, right? You can still do events to get these keys to open up these chests to get more stuff.
But come
right?
Shadowkeep, those armors are going to be redundant.
So what you're saying is my point's even more valid, because if this armor is going to be invalid, then what the hell's the point of the grind, right?
Well, the grind is so that you can get the 2.0 armor for each character going into Shadowkeep, but anything you were saying, like earning extra stuff, like getting any extra Gambit stuff, Menagerie stuff, you know, even the new raid stuff. I know it's all good and well. I mean, even though I'm banner for the last week, you know, you can.
No. For the what
you
I was
can get the enhanced perks.
You can get like emotes and stuff out of them, right? You can get Solstice event stuff that isn't just limited to armor and weapons, right?
No, that's mainly from Eververse. But I'm saying all the stuff that you've now got in your vault, all your armor, you know, enhanced or unenhanced, Gambit Prime, not Gambit, it's going to be made redundant come September. It's not going to be transferable. They may change it into ornaments later on, but then what's the grind for? If you're putting it across all 3 characters, what's the grind for the next 4 weeks after that for people to go to Shadowkeep? There isn't. They've got the armor, they've got it unlocked on all 3 characters. That's it, they're out. They're done. Not going to play for a month until Shadowkeep turns up. They may, you know, do a bit of AFK grinding in the forges just to get some materials and things, but it's not going to keep the Destiny community playing, which is what, you know, you want as a Destiny player. You want more people in there. You want more people doing different things.
Okay, but you can still have these events stretched out over the course of time.
Well, I think that's what they're doing, like with the hint of the Solar Week that's coming that they're not talking about.
Yeah, but listen, like the Bad Juju quest and all the things attached to it with all the triumphs, right? Most people couldn't get that done in a week, meaning the majority of people, right? They're taking most of this time in the month that's been given to actually complete those however many triumphs, right? They could have done something similar for the Solstice event, right? Whenever you complete one of these triumphs in the Solstice event, you get a piece of armor associated with a triumph of some kind, right? And you could have still kept people playing the majority of this time limit without forcing us to have to grind 3 different armor sets on 3 different characters.
But there's no point in grinding it. If you don't want to grind it, I have no plans to grind it on all 3 characters. There's no reason to.
That's my point.
I mean, grind it for what you want to play on. Again, going forward, it'll be 2-0, but then so will everything else.
I'm reminded about old Iron Banner. Remember how when you unlocked an ornament on one character, you got that ornament for all of your characters?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Something like that should have been applied to this. You can still keep people playing the whole time you want them to play without forcing them to grind characters that they probably don't want to grind, just to have that completionist mentality to get that armor. You know? I'm one of those people. I'm probably going to play the Titan just to get the armor. Maybe not. I don't know. I probably will, because I'm a completionist at heart. But I don't want to. You know, like Andy was saying, he doesn't want to have to be forced to play, you know, a raid if he doesn't want to. I shouldn't have to be forced to play a character I don't want to. Well, yeah,
you were last year, weren't you? As I vaguely remember that you had to do one of the raid layers. That was it. Raid layers.
That's it. Okay.
Okay. So you had to do the raid layers to complete. I think it was masterworking the Solstice armor, and again,
or you didn't.
Well, you did one of them, and it completed both of it. But yeah, at least they've taken that out of the aspect that you have to go and do the raids this time. That's now in the tributes and the triumphs for the year.
Right. Yeah, which they probably had to do, because again, Solstice is open to everybody. Bad Juju is open to annual pass holders. So if you're going to make it open to everybody, you have to have things that the entire Destiny community can do.
Yeah.
Which is a nice change. At least you can get through this part. Arguably the more valuable thing of having these armor sets and getting the 2.0 armor from day one Shadowkeep drops versus having one particular exotic weapon and a huge long grind for it.
Which is also nice for new people that are coming in now, or people looking to get into Shadowkeep, that if they do these moments of triumph now, or do these Solstice stuff now, they'll have a 2.0 armor ready and unlocked for when they go into Shadowkeep. So a good thing that way. And if you're new to it and this is the first piece of armor that you're going to go for, it's worth doing it on every character. So I can see where they're coming from, and I can also see your point, Respawn, that as Destiny players that put a lot of time into it, it should be unlocked across all characters,
and it should be enjoyable. To me, this seems more intrusive than enjoyable.
Well, reading through the quest steps, it seems a lot like last year. Last year was a lot of go to the statue, meditate, go and do back and playing the Red War over and over and over again each day. Yeah. Remember that Peroty? It got to the point of you just didn't want to do that anymore.
Right. Which is why like I said, which is why I didn't. I never did. I never masterworked. I think I got the final armor set, but I never masterworked any of it because I didn't masterwork all of it. I don't remember which steps I did because I said, this is coming out, this is the end of this. We're going to get, D2 at this point. We're going to have a whole new thing to do. Yeah. Why bother with this particular armor set when it's just going to be invalidated? Again, I'll have a new armor set, which I then assume will hit whatever the new light level cap is, 800, 850, whatever our new starting light level is going to be with Shadowkeep. That's the thing with this. I much rather focus on the bad juju grind and get that catalyst done, which I'm still a little over halfway on those tributes for, than to get like all again. I'm going to try to do at least one armor set just to have it on the Titan day one, but the other two, it's not. Again, I'm also not playing all three characters. Like I play 1.5 characters barely. I haven't really touched the Warlock or the Hunter in months because I think I'm hitting the point where it's just there's a point where I don't want to play sometimes. There's, I've already,
it's like an overwhelming feeling. It's like you're standing at the bottom of a freaking mountain. You know what's at the top, but getting to that just seems daunting.
Right, and some of it's just, I've already done, like all the exotic weapon quests. Like I've already done this. I've already unlocked this weapon. I'm not going to do it on another character. I'm not going to do it a second time, a third time, or whatever. Like I'm not going to do it. There's no point. I have one. I can pull another one out of the collections. You've completely invalidated needing to do these more than once. Because I go to my collections and say, I need another whatever. Let me pull another one out. There's no point in doing these quests again. Or, again, I have an app where I can just transfer them back and forth. Back when you could only have one and think, we had no apps to transfer with, maybe it was a little more valid. Maybe it was a little more reason to grind it. I think like Night Demon said, if you've got game hours to fill and you're looking for stuff to do, you can grind on all three characters. But if you're not, I just don't see the point in doing this on all three characters unless you really are excited about the armor or the grind. It's just why. There's
it does look like it looks like though this time that they've made a little bit more fun creating the EAZ. So it's going to be like the Haunted Forest and things like that. So they have made it, rather than keep going back and doing those meditations and just doing the other stuff that we weren't really happy with Solstice. They've actually created something new for us to actually do. So I think that's going to keep people going back more and more and more.
But I'm in the same spot as Andy was. Andy didn't want to do raids. I don't want to have to do Crucible, much less have to do enough Crucible to reset my Crucible rank.
Crucible or Gambit. But the Crucible Gambit thing, that's only for the masterwork you get.
Still.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to be forced to do Crucible. That's
okay, I won't force you to do something that you don't want to do.
No, I know you won't. I'm saying Destiny is, right?
Bungie
Who doesn't want to do Rage? I don't want to do Crucible.
It's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
But you were saying about the bad juju, and something that we haven't mentioned, and I don't think anybody else has kind of mentioned it in videos as such. With the bad juju, once you unlock the catalyst, you don't actually apply it to the gun like you used to do. You have to go into the gun and apply it. It automatically tracks how many kills you've got, and then once it's done, does it then automatically go into the gun, or do you have to go into the gun and apply it then?
You still have to apply it.
Okay.
They, if you notice, they also did that with the Outbreak Perfected, right? That was the first weapon they did.
I had to
for.
go and search on a couple of races. I got my 45 things unlocked, went to apply it, and it just kept saying, "You can't do this. You can't do this." I was like,
Right.
"Well, I used to be able to do this. Why can't I do it now?"
Because
because
Bungie can't wise to people like me. Once I have the catalyst, I can drop orbs with it. I don't have to complete it to get the extra added bonus. I can just get what I want, which is orb generation. And when the Perfected came out, they stopped it. And with the bad juju, they wouldn't even let you get to the point where you applied it. So Bungie
that's
caught
something.
on,
Yeah, something new that I don't think a lot of people realise. And there's a lot of forum posts of asking, why isn't this applying? So anybody that's worried that it hasn't applied, just use the gun. It will generate the kills. And then once you've done that, as Respawn says, you can then apply it to the gun.
And if by some chance you have access to the hard difficulty Whisper quest, you can just go to the green room, fall through the slot where those ads spawn indefinitely. No time at all. You'll have the bad juju catalyst. So just tips and tricks, I guess. Something.
Speaking of tips and tricks,
well,
have
hold
you
on.
finished your rant? No?
I did, because you guys kept interrupting me. But something I want to bring up. One of our quote-unquote fans mentioned something about me doing research about the wife hitting the reset button, as it were. And
Wally bopping.
Yeah, wally bopping. So I brought that to her attention. So she doesn't wally bop me anymore. Since then, what she has done, and thank you for this, by the way. I think I would prefer the brain damage with the wally bop than the suffering that I'm having to endure.
You're going to get more people writing into us, aren't you, with your stupid things that you're coming out with.
So really, so it's not Night Demon's marriage you need to be worried about. It's Respawn you need to be worried about. So if he shows up dead at some point, we'll know why. It'll be completely justified.
Right.
Yeah. I'll absolutely not question the moment where they're like, Respawn found in a gutter somewhere. I'm like, yeah, well, he justified. Whatever it was justified.
Right. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. So thank you for pointing that out. But at this point in time, the suffering I'm going through is a lot more than if she just would hit the reset button every now and again. So thank you for that, by the way.
It was pointed out to you because it was dangerous where she was wally bopping you. It's what you were meant to kind of apologise for. You shouldn't be telling children to do that.
Oh, is that what that means?
That was the intention of you can black out and bad things happen when you whack at the brainstem. But draw your own conclusions. People.
Well, because at the bottom he says
try.
we hate to lose Respawn, so I didn't get the whole not telling other children how to do this thing.
People, we try hard, but sometimes there's just no saving a certain individual. So we do what we can. Send your condolences and your cards, and
thank you for concerns.
We will set up a GoFundMe for Respawn's children once his wife finally does him in.
Wait, what do you mean me? No, he's the one with the marriage we have to be worried about, man. Come on.
But you're the one going to get murdered in cold blood. So
listen,
Night Demon's not getting murdered. You're the one I worry about murdering. Night Demon is worried about never seeing
and
again
I agree
his wife throws
that
the
if
Xbox
something
out the
happens
window.
to me, I 100% had it coming. I pushed that envelope. I poked the bear. So if I come up missing, I do deserve it. So don't send me condolences or the GoFundMe's for the kids.
No.
Because I had it coming.
Right. That's why we're giving to the kids, not to you. I don't care about you. I care about the children. Think of the children.
Think of the children. All right.
So now that Respawn has finished his rant, because we've kind of side-railed him on that, would one of you like to take us through the tips and tricks and guides? Because I don't want to go robot and make the podcast go for about another 6 hours.
I don't want to, because I just did that whole rant thing.
Night Demon has a video guide on most of the information we've been over today,
have a video guide
in which he goes over a few tips on how to
here.
complete the armor objectives effectively. So, Houndish 2019 Solstice Guide video. It's there. It's Houndish goodness. You have a posh British voice telling you all the things you need to know about the Solstice event. Our good friend of the pod, Cheese Forever, has a video detailing Eververse's future inventory, which has been data mined. This includes the Solstice items that we mentioned above in the podcast. He also has a guide on how to farm Bright Dust, for Solstice and Shadowkeep Eververse purchases. Again, break down the old crap you have, farm bright dust for the new stuff. You
And
got a guide on
apparently-
how to get all the good dust.
And Cheese Forever is a fan of is a friend of the
Another Drabble
podcast, but
reference.
apparently not a friend of Peroty. Since when Peroty gets invited to his party, not only does he not accept, he goes offline without so much as a "I'm getting off now." Sorry.
You know, you try some days, and some days the fates do not smile upon you as you're getting offline. And you see that invite come through, and you go, "Oh no!" And so I'm no longer famous. I was in one video. That'll have to be the end of my fame. We'll have to get more people on the show so we can
You've
do
had
more
15
videos.
seconds of fame.
Exactly. That's actually our secret. is to
Literally
invite people
15
on,
seconds.
15 seconds, and then blue screen murders me off the screen. So it's
Right.
sort of like getting drug off of the old days with the big giant hook where they just pull you off the stage with. So it worked out great.
So have
So,
you
yeah.
guys watched the Cheese
He has a
Forever
farm.
video detailing the Eververse?
Yes, I did. That's how I knew about it and got the name wrong.
Mhm.
Remember?
So every week for the next couple of weeks that Solstice is on, he shows you what's in the inventory so you can plan ahead.
Go ahead and make your purchases. Get your Millennial Falcon ship or get good stuff you're waiting on.
Save your bright
All right.
dust.
Now, Restophilis has a traction adding the +1 to mobility video. He has a video where he shows you the traction on armor pieces adds a hidden +1 to mobility. He tests various mobility setups to show you his findings. Fallout Plays, who has been on just a tear of going down Destiny rat holes, he has a really interesting video on barrel length affecting the range on weapons, and ornaments that change the barrel length also apparently have this effect. So he says, he always suspected that the length of the weapon's barrel may have some effect on the damage, particularly in shotguns. And getting, the one-hit kills were inconsistent and riddled with RNG, so it's hard to test. But if you put the Chaperone's weapon ornament, the Panama Ravine, on, which gives the gun extra range and a damage fall off, it actually makes the gun physically longer with the ornament and appears to have some effect on the gun's damage. It's also suspected this is why
Pay to win.
the Botheration, that blue shotgun that people like to run around with. I think it's also one of the physically longer shotguns in the game.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a silencer on the end, hasn't it?
Yeah, he suspects that makes it a little bit better. And he was also, I saw on Twitter this week, now looking for, hey, does anybody know of any ornaments that make shotguns shorter than they were before, to see if that makes any difference. So he is going way deep dive on this, barrel length rat hole. So it's pretty interesting. Take a look at that video.
I believe he found it interesting because of the Chaperone, because it's a slug shotgun, and that's how he was able to test the range and one hit kill against the RNG, whereas we've got the pellet spread on other shotguns, whereas this is the slug shotgun. It was easier to kind of see the difference.
Yeah, one single slug, so it's a little more consistent. Ninja Pups has a good video for the Hunter build, the Middle Tree Gunslinger. He says, for those of you who are looking for a little non-meta action, look no further than the amazing Knife Slinger 2.0 build that turns your hunter into a beam-wielding, knife-throwing, unstoppable ad-clearing machine with the ability to build up their super lightning fast. He uses the exotic chest piece Ophidia Spaith, which grants 2 knives per charge, and pairs that with the exotic trace rifle, the Prometheus Lens. This build gives you unlimited dodge and melee. So throw all the knives.
What's interesting with this video is that with the trace rifle, he gets the burn that then procs the damage that then recharges his dodge even faster, because where you throw your knives and you get the burn on the enemy, it then charges your melee. And he's found that the Prometheus Lens, because it has the solar burn, helps keep your melee up. And with the unlimited dodging, you can then, if you don't kill the enemy, you can dodge and just reload your Prometheus Lens and keep that burn to then keep dodging. And then the unlimited knife throwing then burns the enemies as well. It's really, really good video, and especially good with Solar Week coming up.
Yeah, so grab your laser gun and your knives. I was running with somebody who was running a version of this the other week. I don't remember if it was, I can't remember who it was. It was Nahus or Brizzle, or one of those guys was just like, I'm going to throw knives the entire time. I'm going to throw more knives. That's all I'm going to do.
Well, that build has been around for a while, but
similar.
not with the Prometheus Lens. Prometheus Lens is a new thing. And I saw, I had a teammate. Yeah, I had a teammate in Gambit a few days ago that was using the Prometheus Lens, and I didn't know why. and we were making fun of them until I read this, and now I know why.
Oh yeah. I've seen some people running in game of this week too, but yeah, I wasn't paying attention to what class they were all my team using Prometheus lens. I was like, okay, go for it. Why not?
Mhm.
That makes sense.
So I want you to create this loadout for next week Respawn, and I want you to tell us all about it.
Sure. Yeah.
And now we have our good friend and builder of loadout, Rustophilis. He has a good Titan build for the bottom tree Sunbreaker. And the exotic chest piece, Hallowfire Heart. He is calculated to perfection with perks and mods. He says this is going to be really useful for the Solstice Solar Week and makes beasting a walk in the park.
Apparently so. Again, it's a really good build with the mods throwing out grenades and proccing the health. And I believe that he doesn't put too much into resilience. It's a lot more mobility and recovery. And that's your homework for next week, Peroty.
Whoa. What
Burn all
about
the
you,
things
buddy?
down. He watches
I'll
the
do
videos.
the-
We test out the builds. That's how the system
I'll do
works.
the next one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always
Yeah.
testing the builds. I just wanted to get your, feedback on for next week, maybe.
And then Cool Guy has another video. He did about a month.
You've missed Rustophilis again.
Ooh.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I was too many Rustophilis. Rustophilis. So Rustophilis has a Doomfang Pauldron Titan build, the Banger 3.0. So he has a good build for the Titan with the exotic gauntlets, the Doomfang Pauldron. He shows you how he puts together a build with a mixture of impact and grenade mods and the stats that you're looking for in the armor, which gives you faster abilities, faster and longer supers. So I guess we should also say the Hellfire Heart, that's the Titan super where once you get your super up, it just ridiculously procs your grenades and class abilities and makes those reload faster. The Doomfang Pauldrons gives you, I know, the 2 shield throws on your Sentinel class. And I can't remember if it's
the melee,
also
isn't
procs. Yeah. Was it melee or was it the... I have to go look now. Trying to be helpful, and I can't even be helpful because I can't remember what the stupid perks are.
Your empowered melees are your shield throw, aren't they?
No, that's grenade because Ultimate Grenade Week was with Revel throwing grenades or throwing the shields.
Gotcha.
Such good radio. Yeah, so the Doomfang Pauldron has the Horns of Doom. Yeah, the Void melee. Yeah, Void melee kills give you super energy while your Sentinel shield is active. The melee kills recharge your shield throw, which is extended on super hits. So yeah, gives you better melee, lets you throw more shields. So again, yeah,
Which is great for Solar Week, by the way. ...
The Sentinel shield is good for every week. Yeah, so yeah, Banger 3.0, throwing more things. Now we've gotten a Cool Guy. He did a video about a month ago that highlights the exotic fusion rifle, the Merciless. He says, going to Season of Opulence, he started looking in his vault and does it off the Merciless, which he had a catalyst with 0% completion. In PvP only, he got the 500 kills it needed to be able to apply it in one day and was surprised how well it does in PvP. The Erentil is a go-to VOOP currently, but with the Merciless has a ton of perks and utility. In this video, he breaks down what those are and ends up with a 47-0 undefeated gameplay. So the Merciless, when you don't get a kill, it basically makes the gun shoot ridiculously fast. So I watched this video when it came out, and
More
you can just
as well.
it gives you more damage and faster with a fusion rifle. You can just mow people down.
Yeah, but if you're mowing people down, then you're getting the kills. So
Well, no, you could prop the
them
damage on one Guardian and then turn to shoot his teammate who's shooting you next to him. And then because he explodes, he then passes that damage on to the next person that you've just currently shot.
Okay.
Good plan.
Or just let the aim assist take control and shoot the guy that's running a strafing and shoot him and get him some damage too. Worked out great. And that brings us to the end of our show for this week.
Oh.
We have given you all the links. We have given you all the builds.
There's a lot of links.
All the good stuff. We've talked about bugs. We've ranted. We've raved. And as always, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Demon. Your Hunter is no one responds in real life. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram. Just find us on the internet. Stalk us. Go to our houses. Lollipop us on the necks. Knock us out. It'll be fine. You can join the Frozen Clan at join.frozen.party with a 0. You can join us if you love sandwiches. If you like sandwiches a little less, go join the Guardian Hub. If you have a clan you'd like us to tell people to join, let us know. We're looking for clans. Otherwise, we're going to start ridiculous names in the tower and start sending people over there to you random folks we see in the world. You can find all of the Guardians here on Xbox Live. Watch the show on YouTube. Listen to us on Podcoin, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and all the places you can find the good podcasts. Gents, Craig, robots everywhere, say goodbye.
Goodbye, Guardians.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Did I go robot?
No, that was the clearest you've been all day.
Right?
Yeah.